Moody on the Move is presented by United Federal Credit Union. We get you.
Hi everybody, it's Pat Moody, and it's time once again for another edition of Moody on the Move. There are many organizations in Michigan's great Southwest that tell you that they do things for good, but not very many of them can say they do things for good forever. Today, the story of the Berrien Community Foundation right here on Moody on the Move, courtesy of our friends at United Federal Credit Union. We get you. With us today, we have Lisa Cripps-Downey, the president of Berrien Community Foundation. Hello. And we also have, from the board of directors of Berrien Community Foundation, Sarah Jollay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, for good forever. That's the slogan that you have, and you've been saying it for some time now. And it's a tagline, obviously, but you certainly have been doing things for good for a long time here in Michigan's great Southwest. And you're coming up on a pretty big milestone as a result of that.
We are coming up on 70 years of serving Berrien County. And I'm just so excited about that. When I look at the decades of service that the Berrien Community Foundation has done, it just amazes me at the foresight of the founders of the Berrien Community Foundation. Think about 70 years ago what was happening. World War II had just ended. The economy was good, but it was 1950s. We were just going into the Korean War. We were in the Korean War, and there was just this feeling of patriotism and that we wanted to protect and preserve our community. And so the idea of a community foundation was, and it still is, that we're going to invest in our community now so that we can take care of it in the future. So the people who invested in the Berrien Community Foundation 70 years ago, they were trusting that the people who are here now were going to use those investments to take care of Berrien County. So those dollars that people invested 70 years ago, they were invested, they were endowed. We never spent those dollars. We only spent the proceeds from those dollars. And so those dollars are still at work in Berrien County. In all the things that you see us do now in our community, the grants, the scholarships, those are still a result of dollars that were invested 70 years ago. I mean, those people could not have known that we were going to face a pandemic, or that there would have been floods, or kids would need backpacks, or the arts would need our support. But they wanted to make sure that good things were going to happen in our community. And I think that really speaks to the tagline of doing good, forever.
So Sarah, how important is philanthropy, supporting the community, the nonprofit sector of our community?
So it's vital. It's a vital part of our community, and it's what all of us enjoy every day. It's the soccer program. It's wanting to go to the symphony. It is needing to care for an aging parent. It's the need for emergency housing in the community. It's all of those things. I think one of the most beautiful things about Berrien Community Foundation is you get to give and live and participate in this foundation where your heart is, right? Where your desire to have a philanthropic impact, whether that's your time, your talent, your treasure. There is an opportunity within Berrien Community Foundation for that.
So basically, Berrien Community Foundation lets you get involved in philanthropy in your own individual way.
Every time.
Every time.
And it can be a scholarship. It can be packing gifts for our seniors. It can be handing out backpacks, at one of our events. There are opportunities for everybody to be a philanthropist, and everyone should be a philanthropist. There is something very fulfilling about that, and it's exactly what you spoke to about 70 years ago. People cared about this community. People still care about this community in that way.
Yes, because giving should bring joy. If it doesn't, we are doing something wrong. But everybody experiences that joy from a different thing. What you love and what brings you joy is going to be very unique to you. And so at the Berrien Community Foundation, you can really work to create your own unique charitable legacy. When I sit down and talk to someone about creating a charitable legacy, it is a very individual discussion every time.
So how does one establish a charitable legacy?
Well, you can give at any time, but most people, when they are thinking of a charitable legacy, that's something that they're going to do with a life-end gift through either a will or an estate plan. And then that gift can come in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's a percentage of your estate, or it can be a particular asset like a retirement fund or a life insurance policy. It can be even a tangible asset like a house or an art collection. And then that gift can be used to be very broad in what you want to, how you want to help, or very, very specific.
So how does that work?
So when people choose to give, they can do a gift that they are trusting the Berrien Community Foundation and its volunteers to make the decision of what's going to meet the most immediate need of Berrien County now and into the future. An example of that is Barbara and Lester Page left an estate gift, and they said, just whatever is the most important thing we trust you to make that decision. And I think they would be very happy to know that we invested that gift, and the proceeds of that gift this year are being used to bring almost 800 care kits to our most frail seniors. Those gifts can also be a little bit narrower. So an example of that is Theodore and Elaine Luker. They established an endowment that cares for children in need. So they used to have this flower stand at the roadside, and the proceeds from the flower stand, they always gave those to children's programs. When they died, they created an endowment that would forever support children in need in Berrien County.
The Berrien Community Foundation scholarship program has grown dramatically over the years. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, we certainly have grown. We are now providing 73 different scholarships, and last year it was just over $296,000 that went to help students achieve their educational goals. And that is graduating seniors, and it's also adults who are returning to school. So that program just continues to grow, but it also really speaks to how giving through the Berrien Community Foundation can be very, very unique. So you can start a scholarship that supports a career path that was good to you, or it can be a scholarship for an extracurricular activity that you're fond of, or to honor a loved one, or just to help a kid stay out of debt.
So for 70 years now, you've been doing things for good and forever. So what's the future look like?
Even though I can't say what next year looks like, what I do know is that the Berrien Community Foundation is going to be here to help support our needs in Berrien County for decades to come. We have the advantage of having the wisdom of elders who have come in here and shared with us. And we have young people who are making grant decisions with energy and enthusiasm, and we have everything in between. And that's because the Berrien Community Foundation belongs to Berrien County and everyone in Berrien County. So whatever happens, I know that Berrien Community Foundation is going to be here for good forever.
Outstanding. We hope you have nothing but grand success for the next 70 years, and 70 after that, and 70 after that. That's a wrap on another edition of Moody on the Move. Our friends today from Berrien Community Foundation doing things for good. Remember, though, this is your community foundation, the Berrien Community Foundation. Our thanks to Little Red Fern, who makes it all possible for us to look really cool, and especially our friends at United Federal Credit Union, who make it possible for us to be here on the move all the time. Thanks for that, and have a great day.